Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Welcome to the second installment of Sunday Lunch. It's the second serving, so I hope you play to pick that napkin. Yo, sometimes I struggle with the words. I find it difficult to cut ties with some girls. Out of mind and out of this pearl. Still in due time to find what you deserve. Yo, have you heard? Excess Kitsy got her served. Now she's running, it's absurd how she belongs to the world. She was my first, after so many hurts. Little smirks when I saw her getting nested by the birds. Speaking of such, Twitter's the reason we're not speaking much. Indeed it sucks, reading those tweets but never keeping up. And now my lifetime's full of spam. Fake accounts unaccounted for is where I stand. These in and outs, revolving doors shutting, that's the plan. Destructive button, glory hunting might just date a fan. And thanks to my fam for helping me understand that often your heart will soften and maybe break in your hand. And thanks to the fan for helping me understand that often your heart will soften and maybe break in your hand. That's the jam, that's the jam, that's the jam. From AM to PM, that's the jam, that's the jam. This is for the girls who ask me to write songs for them. Again, Sunday lunch, this is your hand. And I know you still love him. Our relationship was ended by us. This is for the girls.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 here in the VS Gaming Premier League, as we see Salt taking on the side of Sinister 5 in a best of 3 to determine who is going to overtake or at least keep the pole position in the group right now. And it looks like, Sinister 5 are sitting pretty comfortably there. Don't want to be budged off the perch at all because they just demolished Salt. 20-minute game, less than 18 minutes in, it was already over. And now Salt, even though both myself and Devin Halbert felt like we had a better draft from Salt than from Sinister 5, or at least a draft that they could compete with, didn't turn out to be the case. So, Halbert, game 2 is now here. Is there any hope? What's going to change?
Listen, there's a problem here, and maybe it's just the loaded. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this will correct as the game goes. But Salt don't have their flags up.
Oh no, it's just you. That's just you. Why does the computer always do that?
Yeah. Okay, fine. I was having a heart attack. I was worried. I was freaking out. But I think we're good. We're good. So, look, I think the first thing I want to discuss about that last one, and really this is just the floor is yours, Snare. I'm sure people would love to hear your opinion more about this than mine. But what worries me is that when you consider that a draft is designed to function in a particular manner and do particular things, you look at the Sinister 5 draft and you say, sure, that there was in fact lane competition was kind of the goal, but the real goal was to be able to push and take team fights with your ulti up from the from the DP. But in the end, it looked like a pick-off strat, looked like a split push strat, it looked like a pushing strat, it looked like a whatever you wanted strat, because they won on every single aspect of the game. And my concern is, at that point, how does Salt turn around and say like, oh, this was the problem? Because they lost in every facet of the game with Dota.
I think the main problem for them is going to have to be their support, right? Because how they dealt with their support duo, the thing is they just weren't able to start playing. That's one of those games, honestly, you just watch off the back and say, we just made bad decisions. We shouldn't have made the initial, when we made the lane swap to move the Sven down to bottom, we should have made sure that we gave him adequate protection. Give adequate protection towards the bats as well in the top side of the map. We should have made sure that OD just shouldn't have lost the lane that hard. Honestly, in my personal opinion, right, I kind of feel the game was lost when Sparkles had to spend most of the time playing catch-up, but wasn't able to engage with his team, even after the Bat Rider Blink Dagger was available. Ideally, you want Bat to be able to smoke, head closer toward where the OD is, or smoke with your OD to get kills, or with even the Sand King, but if you can't do that, you can't really play Dota. So that's one of those games you try to forget about, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if Salt were the ones that hosted the lobby, and they're like, don't even put the score. Let's just pretend we just started, bro.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Look, once again, I want to point out that, as you mentioned, these are guys these are two strong sides. Salt are not a team to be messed around with, and I do believe that there's a lot more gas in the tank. So hopefully they can bring this back, make this competitive, because I don't think this is a side that will necessarily mind losing. And I want to just justify that for a second, because I know that Salt is a side that want to win. They're hungry to win. But this is the battle, not the war. They want to win when it really counts at the LAN events, etc. And learning is probably what is more on the cards right now. They want to know their opponents, they want to achieve, they want to become a better side. But in a game like that, you learn very little. So Salt probably would be happy if they can bring this back to a competitive game that they lose, even 2-0.
Yeah.
At least from the perspective of they can go to sleep tonight and think, cool, we can hit this back in the morning. But if they do get stomped like that again, that's going to be a very unhappy bunch of players. And I will say this much: they're a passionate bunch of players. So the wins feel better, but the losses feel worse. But anyways, Snare, I've spammed on long enough. I think what people would love to know now is just a little bit about the draft. So why don't you give us a breakdown of the bans and pick stuff on what you think of it?
So Sin 5, Chen, Nyx, AA taken out. That's all well and good. You have to ban the Ancient Apparition if you're going to be playing Io. You have to ban Nyx if you're going to be playing Io or Lion. And Chen is just the OP hero right now, so take it out of the game. And Salt, they remove Schlinks' Earth Spirit. You know, some respect banning right there. Taking out the Nature's Prophet as well as the Warlock. But this time they let the Io through as a result. And Sin 5, you know what I actually do like about the Sand King Lina opener from Salt is that there is still some diversity, a little bit, in terms of how they might want to play it. Sand King can play multiple roles. Lina can play one role extremely well and the other one sort of okay when she's playing on like 4 position. But this game, it gives them burst damage versus Io, which I don't think you can play against Io drafts without having a substantial amount of burst. And in the previous game as well, they were sort of struggling with burst themselves. I was saying that they can win long drawn out team fights, but I wasn't counting on them taking the fights when they were 2-3 levels behind all the time. So they were the ones that got bursted, even though Sin 5 didn't have bursty heroes. This time Salt has burst, can insta-kill Io, you can insta-kill Lion. This is actually also one of these things where in the previous game they needed items in order for their team to work. I think rely on levels, because as much as you might get out leveled anyway by Sin 5, at the very least if you have levels, like level scaling heroes rather than item scaling heroes, if the laning phase goes really poorly, you can try do something to catch back up later, not just relying on your Sven with Midas. So I don't like this though from Sin 5. I'll admit, I don't like the Shadow Shaman. I get that they need a pushing hero, but this is a squishy draft, man. You're playing squishy heroes versus Lina. This is kind of risky right now.
I must agree. I think that the Lina should be happy about this. And I also wanted to add on to what you mentioned about the Lina in her 4-position role. Up, or rather alongside Sand King, one of the better heroes to put with Lina when she has to play a 4-position role, because it does give you that opportunity to kind of make her stun a reliable stun, which is probably her biggest issue. I'm sure you would agree, but feel free to tell me I'm wrong. But probably the biggest issue with Lina is that unlike something like a Lion that has 2 reliable disables, Lina doesn't have any. She does have the opportunity to do a huge amount of burst though, potentially even more than the Lion if he doesn't have enough stacks up, as it were. But at the same time, Sand King just gives him that opportunity. I can follow in the Sand King. If Sand King hit like the double Burrow Strike, I'm hitting my double Light Strike array, so that's pretty good here. But I gotta say, Sin 5, the one thing they do have going for them is they have a ton of disable. I mean, the Lion and the Shadow Shaman are enough to pretty much deal with any draft, in my opinion. There's so much disable that comes out there, so much reliable disable. But as mentioned, that's squishy. That's squishy as hell.
You also can't, one of the things that they do have from Sinister 5 is now Salt can't really play ultra hard late game carries. You can't play Morphling or Ancient, or the Anti-Mage rather, because putting either of them in this situation will, you're gonna just get demolished in this game, like against this much disable. So that is the one positive, like you mentioned, for Sin 5. And Salt, okay, they have now consigned Lina into going into the mid lane with picking up this Witch Doctor. I do kind of like this though, because Witch Doctor is really good against Io for similar reasons that the Ancient Apparition is. AA stops you from being able to get any heals off at all. Witch Doctor makes sure that even if you do get off a tether in the middle of the fight, thanks to Maledict, you should still be taking damage. And if this game goes on late enough, yo, how many games have we seen Wisps losing their minds because they're dealing with an Ancient, an Aghanim Scepter on the Witch Doctor? They just get like machine gunned down, you and your partner.
Yeah, if you do get to the late stage game, which could happen, because you could see this game going super late, especially since 5 failed to progress in the early stages. You're totally correct. Witch Doctor can just eat through lineups. Although I kind of like this response, because it is physical damage, and DK is somebody that is really good against physical damage. But there's quite a lot of magic damage regardless, so it's not like a fantastic pick overall, but it does give him some tanky frontliner. If they put a pipe on one of the heroes, or even just get off the hoodie on the DK, there's something there to deal with this front line. But that is a lot of work, once again, for that DK. Assuming that they just pick another squishy hero, which has been the trend so far, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah, DK DK is just not gonna die. He can just sit here soaking up all the damage. It's yet another hero that Adestam, once he hits level 6, can apply some push pressure across the map with. Look how fast this draft can play from Sin 5. You have the Shadow Shaman, can drop down mass open worlds, you can still keep pushing with the Elder Dragon form, and you have this Io with the DK. This hero is never going to die. I'm legit gonna be surprised, genuinely surprised, if Adestam dies in this entire game with the backup of this Io being available. And also now it matters less and less how well the Lion and the Shadow Shaman are doing, because it's pretty clear you're gonna have 3 supports. Picking up a DK tells us in advance, the way that Sinister 5 is drafting, that they are going to be going for a pseudo 4 protect 1, 4 able to push, and I wouldn't be surprised if they went for like a Morphling or Anti-Mage themselves in the last pick, because you can win the game just with these 4 heroes as they stand right now from Sinister 5, and there's not that much that Salt can do about it, because again, they have the burst, but burst helps versus the first 3 heroes. It does absolutely nothing. Their draft as it stands right now versus the DK. LC does help. LC does help. You needed a way to lock down Io, prevent him from being able to get out all the heals, can get to the backlands quite easily. It's also a hero that if they have to be stunning her, you're not stunning Lina or their pause 1 hero that they're going to be playing for Never in the last pick. So that's probably the rationale of the LC, and it's a hero that has some deep push. So between Lina as well as the Legion Commander, you don't have to actually go into put yourself in danger to stop the Sinister 5 push. As long as there aren't mass open wards, Sin 5 will be forced to stay away from the towers.
I was just thinking about something. Tell me I'm going crazy, but there's a lot of pressure coming out from Sin 5 as you mentioned, with having to deal with a lot of lane clearance that Salt have to do. Let me start that all again. Salt's going to have to lane clear. That's going to have to be there. They're going to have to make sure that they don't have creeps in the towers because, as mentioned, there's a lot of pushing power coming out from the Shadow Shaman as well as the DK. I was looking at this draft and thought to myself, like, Grimstroke sounds lovely right about now. Because you could run either the Sanking or the Lina as a core alongside your Legion Commander, and you can potentially combat the early aggression with early aggression of your own, and they have some fantastic heroes that go up alongside this. Maybe I'm crazy, but if this is going to be a game where you have to make it past the early stages, is it too crazy?
It's not too crazy, but it's banned. Sinister 5 took it out.
Never mind then.
Yeah.
Thanks for your honesty. Why is it bad?
No, it's banned. It's banned. Like, taken out of the game.
Banned?
Yeah, Sin 5 banned it 5th ban.
Okay. Right.
No, it's not bad at all.
Then.
No, it's not bad at all.
Okay.
I could live.
Okay, good.
Oh
So,
my god.
I'm actually... Well, okay, I go to the Phoenix. I'm kind of sad. I was actually looking forward to educating me what was bad, but...
Oh, no. It would have actually been fine. Like, I wouldn't have minded the lost pick Grimstroke. It would have meant that they would have to run Lina in the safe lane, but I've seen crazier things happen. You could put Lina safe lane, Sand King or Grimstroke. I've seen it being played mid, and then the LC could go into the off lane. Phoenix, though, I don't know how I feel. I actually don't like this Phoenix pick, if I'm honest. I get why it's here. There's not that much attack speed on the side of Sin 5. They're relying on the Wisp overcharge to make that happen. Never mind.
Well, it wasn't.
Never mind. There's your attack speed.
You're good now, fam. We got you. We got you with Huskar. Also, 5-bit Huskars are still dirty. This isn't... I don't know how I feel about this, because this isn't the age-old Dazzle Huskar or Oracle Huskar, but you do still have the IO, which functions in not too dissimilar fashion. So... Overcharge onto Huskar with the heal.
Yeah.
That's they done salted dirty, I think, yes, there.
I actually think the way that they've changed Huskar, it makes it a little bit better with IO than it used to be in the past. Specifically because you now get this increased movement speed from the tether with the IO. So when you spend all the heroes away from you with that burning circle, now you have some kind of way, absent from your ultimate, of closing the gap onto them. And because you're playing with the Wisp, you don't have to show up for the fights immediately. We've seen so many Huskar drafts fall apart because the team that picks the hero doesn't have a easy and consistent way to ensure that Huskar is always available for the fights. But in this game, you're playing with IO, that is never going to be a problem. Huskar is going to be at every engagement, every supernova is going to get destroyed. You're also going to be, because of Huskar's new regen rather than the absolute magic resist, it does mean that the Lina can't really rely on being able to burst you down with all her spells, because you're just never going to lose your freaking life. So last pick Huskar, I think this is going to be a game where we remember why Huskar is a great last pick hero. And you know, that's the best part as well, Dev. That's the absolute best part about this, because it's Aghanim that's playing this Huskar, right? He's going to be playing in the lane. And ideally, if you match him up versus Never on the Legion Commander, normally Never sustains himself in the lane with the Moment of Courage. You know, go in, get some last hits every now and then, get all your life back. You can't do that versus Huskar. If you approach the lane versus Huskar, you lose more health than you actually gain back thanks to the Moment of Courage. So this is a really rough laning matchup for the Legion Commander down here at bottom. And he might end up being the first blood because they've smoked up his 5 to try and catch him.
I was going to say, let's discuss what's happening here for a moment, because looks like the boys from Sins 5 are up to absolutely no good. This might actually make popular. They're going to know what that means. He's in the vicinity, but in fact they picked the wrong line. So nice work. Oh, never, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not where you want to go. That's right. Right back to the tower. You'll get the other 2 runs. Your job is done here. That's a great success.
He was a second away from dying, dude. Shackles were ready. Like, Schlinks was actually going towards him. We would have caught him, but it's level 1 Shackle, so the range isn't that good. They almost got him.
This is cheating. This is cheating. Because Schlinks has the Shackles, but Doom Bunny has the Hex. Because normally that's the problem, is you have to find that range. But now they're just like, look, you do the Hexing, I'll do the Shackling, we'll pull up. We're basically a level 2 Shadow Shaman now.
Like, that's actually, now that you mentioned, that's pretty sick. They have... How do you have 4 stuns just between 2 heroes? Like, they have 5 stuns between DK and just the supports, to the degree where they don't need any stuns for Aghanim. No, wait, why am I saying the other supports? Schlinks is actually playing offlane this game, showing up to the lane with triple Mango. Wait, what? No, Dota and Die still playing the offlane, even though he's playing the Wisp, man. What a player! Look at this build. Gonna go Soul Ring Vlads. You know, shows up to the lane with double gauntlets. Oh my god, dude. This is gonna be a loss hitting IO. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be so much fun to watch.
Is this BM or is this legit?
Dude, they're doing this. They're doing this. I mean, they're accepting that they're not playing... Look, this draft is all about Huskar, right? So, if Huskar can do well, and the DK can do well, it actually doesn't matter what else happens across the map. So, Dota and Die, if he's getting levels and not dying at top, they're really happy with this. They don't really care at all. Like, I feel like if they could ensure that Dota and Die wouldn't end up losing his life if he showed up to this lane alone, I think they would have just left him. But, you know, at bottom, it's only always that's here. And Salt were wise enough, recognizing that you don't want to actually match up Never up against the Huskar. They move him to the top side of the map, ensure that he's going to get his farm. And mid, the Sparkles is going to have a much better time versus the DK than with the OD matchup. Because as much as I might have said OD shouldn't really be killing DK or the DP as much as he was, I kind of do feel like in this matchup, DK cannot kill Lina in the same way that the OD can. So this matchup, even if he tried, Sparkles couldn't make this worse for himself than in the first game.
Yeah, I genuinely don't see any possibility that Addison kills Sparkles here. I think it's more so about how much farm can Addison get out the lane. That's really where you're going to see your win condition as well in this middle lane. It's also hard for Sparkles to kill the DK. Gotta be said, it's a tough one because he's still a tanky hero. You're not going to be able to finish him off easily. A lot of regen, so your natural Ras isn't ready there. Top lane though, looks like they're going to try have a go here on Not a Hero. Will they actually commit to this? No, they're going to back off for the time being. Santa will give them a couple of love taps as well. Doom Bunny staying his ground though, going to give them the best of it. Can I just say that I actually find the concept of Io tethering to a Shadow Shaman... Oh, careful, don't die. That is actually closer than comfortable. Unfortunately, no Fire Spirits up, as I was actually probably a dead Io. Anyways, what I was going to say is, I find the concept of a tethered Shadow Shaman actually kind of terrifying. He is the range... Look at his damage there. He hits for 80.
80 damage, dude.
Why is this hero like this?
Like, actually, I don't understand, like, all the time that he's tethered, right? I feel like what they should be doing is, as soon as Dota and Die gets the tether off onto the Shadow Shaman, like, Schling should just be running forward and hitting people the entire time. Like, they might lose Doom Bunny, though, so that's going to be a first blood.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's in a bad spot. And they will get the Hex out, though, with Doom Bunny very low. Nice stun comes up from him. He's going to do what he can. Managed to get the kill first. So, actually, instead, the Shackles off on Stan. He does, in fact, get the help out from Nether, though, as he gets to press the attack on him. And they're going to trade it off 1-for-1. But actually, that's really huge, because the first blood went the other way. That was the first kill.
That was the first kill. It was the hero that came to the lane just to provide additional support. They don't really need him at top for Doom Bunny, but they also want to make sure that Huskar gets maximum levels. And Aghanim has no purpose and no use for a Lion right now. So not only does that kill happen, as you mentioned, it goes first in the opposite direction. And the hero that died, it would have been one thing if it was Santa that died, but I feel like you can't afford to be losing Phoenix. You need the levels on this hero really, really much. Wait, that's syntax or that sentence sounded wrong. You need level 6 as soon as possible on this Phoenix, man. Like, the way this is going right now, between him and Santa, both of their ultimates are necessary for the side of Salt to be able to take fights, because they're not going to have enough damage on the LC duel early on in the game, but because they're being forced to stay in the tri lane, they're not going to have the necessary levels to get that damage out. And Doom Bunny adds Salt to the wound. Not only does he steal away their first blood, he also dewards them, ensuring that there's no observer ward to notice any movement behind the tier 1 tower.
Ooh, I wasn't a fan of that press attack. But anyways, I wanted to ask you a question about mid lane. So, Alistair at the moment, I think he's doing fantastic. Who just died. Aghanim, that's
yeah, it's
me.
going to happen.
Poor Sanking alone. But I wanted to ask, what's the number? What's the number you're looking for? If we're looking for a 10-minute laning stage, where's a good number? Because I feel like when you're 22-7 up against Alina as a melee hero, albeit still a fantastic melee hero to go up against ranged heroes, what's the number you're looking for?
As long as like, this is actually a losing matchup for, like, not losing, you lose, but you can't do anything to DK in this situation. DK is always going to be getting like either double, triple mango. He's going to build into a soul ring. He's going to be able to spam you with the breathe fire, and you have to farm the lane using the Dragon Slave, and you have, it's a bit harder for you to get down into the lane than the DK, given that you can't harass him out. So as long as you're not dying, honestly, I think I'm okay with it.
Top lane, they're going to go in here. Don't die, does get hexed up, but they're going to get the shackles off onto that Legion Commander. We'll see who dies first. There's a great Maledict that comes off. They might be able to turn this, but they did lose the Witch Doctor for it. Not actually sure what level that was. In fact, it was a level 2, so they could actually hurt them here, but they're going to back off. They often go for the defensive route, pick up the runes as well, but they may have overstayed their welcome. Is there a press attack? No, there's not. They could just lose on a hero, and they do, in fact. They're going to TP in some support. Santa comes in with the paralyzing cast. Not enough to bring down Don't Die. They will get the stun on coming up onto that Legion Commander. He does have some mana now to work with, but it looks like they're going to opt to back off regardless. They don't want a piece of this fight. Don't Die has been living on the edge, but living he is.
Now you see, Don't Die, not only does he survive there, but one of the reasons why they feel so comfortable being at top as a tri-lane is, sure, all these heroes are level 3 right now on the side of Sinister 5, but the same is to be said about the heroes from Salt. They might lose Sparkles mid though. Elder Dragon form committed by Adestam. He's actually got this. Yeah, no, wait, no Sparkles. He doesn't want to chase. If he chased for that, I think Adestam could have gotten that kill with level 2 Breathfire.
I tend to agree with you. That's concerning for Sparkles. It is almost the reveal, if you will. You do have to kind of work around that first dragon form, but he gets a lot out of it. He's pushed back Sparkles. He's got a significant level advantage on him again. Adestam's doing a fantastic job in these mid lanes lately. Yeah.
Sparkles are going to have to go back and shrine. In the meantime, he's missed out on 2 creep waves. Bottom though, Adestam or Aghanim is going to get a kill onto Sand King, but he might die for this himself. Nah, he's fine. It's only a level 1 Necros dive.
I don't think not a hero wins that. He's used all his spells, and if he does go on that, I think Aghanim just turns around and wrecks him. So, making them probably the right choice and backing off. But maybe when Sanking comes back, he does have a TP available. So potentially they could try.
Nope. He's got power trades, level 4 burning spears, and level 7. So he does have the life break available. No, you don't do this. You let this one go. You accept that Aghanim is going to survive through this. Going to get his regen back. And at top, they want more after getting a kill onto Santa. But they're just going to let this one go. I mean, look at this, level 4 LC. If LC was level 5 right now, this top lane would be impossible to play. But because it's level 4, and Sparkles, sure, he does rotate top with the DD rune in tow, manages to get the kill onto Dota and die. Perhaps if they get some damage onto the tier 1 tower, that can be very good because they've got a siege wagon nearby. But if they don't do that, that does mean that yet again, it's more time for Adestam to be completely free farming here in the mid lane. And Sparkles hasn't managed to find an opportunity to come back. So this is just him top 2 cores. Sitting here, sharing farm, sharing experience, not really getting much done. The tier 1 tower at top is at half HP, but is in no danger of really dying. So they're not really getting anything out of this time.
I'm sorry, but Adestam is a god.
Wait, what happened? What did he do? What did he do?
I didn't actually see it, but it is the only thing that makes any logical sense. Adestam caught not a hero with a melee dragon tail when he was doing an Icarus.
Top lane, Sparkles might die, gets shackled up. Oh, never mind.
Find something for this rotation. They might find a little bit more. Doom Bunny is going to get the Maledict onto his face. Trying to reward.
Oh my god.
What a lad. A soldier, one might say.
Oh my god. I wish Costas could spam the chat lines, dude. He needs a save for that one. Oh my god, that was incredible. What a player, dude.
Well, there's some wild players coming out because I like that. It's just make him, if he knows he's going to die, he says, well, if I'm going down with this ward. So make something of it. But this is let's just point this out, much better game from Salt. 4 to 6, 8 minutes in, only a 1k lead in the form of, or rather 4 Sin 5. That's still, you can still work around this. I'm much happier with this performance. Bottom lane is a bit of a problem. Aghanim has been completely dominant, and they do have the DK also sharing the top spot for last hits at the moment. But I feel like there's still a chance.
I feel like in a game where you have the one team has DK, Shadow Shaman, and Huskar, and yet it's Salt.
They're going to go straight back onto the stanking, always very low, all be brought down. Aghanim is going to be left to pick up the kill. Rotation from Doom Bunny. Model MVP Doom Bunny. You keep doing your thing, buddy.
This is fine though, like you haven't actually lost any tier 1s. If you're playing on the side of Salt, you still have all of them. Only the mid one is relatively unhealthy, but you managed to push out the top lane. Mid lane, okay, you have no damage on the tier 1 there, and at bottom either, but still, you get the first tier 1 of the game. You're not playing with the pushing heroes, so now you can just collect levels in a more safe situation. They finally do leave Never alone to farm for a little bit. Almost has the drums complete. As soon as these come out, looking for him to TP somewhere onto the map. I don't think any of the supports have a smoke in tow right now. There might be one on the courier though. But they still need to wait for him to finish these drums. Then you can get on the map, try and make something happen. But as it stands right now, sure, they keep losing always underneath the tier 1 at bottom. But it's not like he's not getting some experience. He has more farm than every hero on the side of Sinister 5 with the exception of the DK and the Huskar. So he can just sit here as he is right now with level 3 Sandstorm. And sure, Aghanim knows he can kill him as long as he has some vision. But there's not really that much overall threat to the game plan of Salt, even after they lose this tier 1, because they're definitely going to lose it if they lose Always. But if Always doesn't die, this is such a good play, and Aghanim's going to find this. No! Always messed up there. He allowed Aghanim to TP mid.
Oh, they're going to go in the mid lane and Sand to get the stuff. Can they finish though? They're going to commit the duel and everything. They need to kill him. Can they bring him down? Nice. Yes, they can. Very important kill. They're going to come the cost of that leading point. Sparkles will get off a really nice light strike array. In fact, Never. Does he survive? Does he live this one? No! Because Doom Buddy comes in with a double impale on the back line. Earth spike that. Want another. Got the haste trim. Not 2 days.
Nice.
The neutral creep. But I'm loving this game though. Okay, more's happening. Do they find more? No. Always going to be stunned up here. They're going to activate the shrine as well, so he possibly will lose his life. No. Just think it's like a little bit long there to get back into the aggression, excuse me.
That's actually not so bad.
I don't know. Wait.
No, he's fine. That's actually not so bad. They lose 3, but only 2 of them actually died to heroes. One of them did get denied, and they get the kill onto the Huskar. Who got the final kill onto Husk himself? Never's the one that got it. So that's actually even the best case scenario. The Legion Commander brings down the enemy hard carry. Oh, he almost got a duel onto Dota and die top. Brings down the enemy hard carry. Able to deny himself as well, so he keeps all the gold that he received from that. I do still think overall that Always made a mistake because he saw Aghanim TPing out. Had he just interrupted his TP with the Burrow Strike, they would have hard committed for this fight on Sinister 5.
Sorry, mid lane. Another hero, very aggressive. They really respected that egg actually, because they could have very easily turned him, but they realize that they can pick up this leader. They're going to egg behind him, but is this going to be too little too late? It is. Yeah. Santa, although he wanted to help out his buddy, wasn't able to get in range for the paralyzing cast. So the tap comes out. The BM is there.
What a punk.
Not only does not a hero find that kill, or no, find himself having to use a supernova, can't save the kill. Sparkles dies anyway, and Sparkles, yeah, man. Let me not flame, but I will say I don't think this has been his best performance today. He's made a lot of mistakes today. I feel like that were very avoidable. At bottom though, they're gonna get a kill.
Tasty Sand so there's no way out. Doom Bunny says, "I will take this one. It'll be my first finger death kill for the match, and I'll just start buffing myself up." Sorry, Snake, you were saying.
Nah, just he's been playing kind of trash, and I know he's better than this, so he needs to show us. Yulceptor's gonna make a huge difference though.
You want to propose the kick Sparkles? That's not very nice then.
No,
I'm just
man.
kidding. It has been a rough run, but once again, I can say nothing because I've experienced the life of having to solo up against Adestam, and he's doing a lot better than I did, okay? A lot better. So, there's that.
Speaking of a lot better though, overall, they are doing way better. The 4K gold lead is now in tow at the 13-minute mark, but given that this could be a lot worse, and a lot of this lead is just sitting on the 2 cores, DK, and DK's build, he has triple bracer building into the Radiance, right? But that means that all of his net worth right now for Adestam is actually irrelevant. He's mostly relying on his levels and just sheer HP pool. So he's not that much of a threat on the map, although there's going to be a fight right now. Doom Bunny
Yeah, Santa, can he get off the paralyzing cast now? He gets stunned up. They're going to try to bring him down. A nice stun comes through from the Sankey. Going to wind up Azalfi as well. They're doing well in the back lines. They miss the stun as they're going to drop the Serpent Horse, catching out Sparkles. He doesn't have much. Even though he commits the Lina ulti, there's just not enough in the tank right now. And they're going to turn their attention now to that Legion Commander who's trying to help out his buddy. The Egos commit, trying to save out Never, but now he has to run back. He's taking a lot of damage, still has a couple of burning spears in him, but should survive it thanks to the press the attack. In the end, it's going to be a 2-for-3 trade. But I think the most concerning thing there for me, Lina did nothing against that DK. And top lane, what is this? Never trying to bring down the Legion Commander. Not too sure he was there actually.
Yeah, Never TP top, like, he wasn't going, he didn't want to go home, right, and just be stuck inside the base. So he wanted to try and get greedy, port top, and there was a creep wave coming in. He could have farmed that up, used the time from the Moment of Courage procs to get back all his HP, every now and then throw in some prosty attacks. But unfortunately for him, he comes across Dota and Die, who not only is playing this level 9 IO, because he has the Helm of the Dominator, he had that little Satyr Banisher, and LC knew, Never was aware that if he got purged even once, he was going to end up dying to the Wisp Spirit Balls. So he had to go all the way back to base. That's a lot of time that Dota and Die ends up taking away from this LC. So he tries to go for the 200 IQ play, actually ends up biting him in the ass, and they're going to lose always here at bottom. Yeah, he's 100% dead, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're going to hex him up, they're going to shackle him up, they're going to agonize him. Absolutely no way out for the Sanking, so easy kill. They really committed a lot to that though. They actually used the Radiant Scan and mid lane. Oh, what did they pick up? They pick up the DK. Yeah. Big kill here. They're going to try to re-engage. So Aghanim once a piece, winding up that ult. You can see him going, but don't die on the front line. Tethers to his creep to get out the net onto Santa. Nice life strike away comes out to disrupt her and die. But in the end, Aghanim going to clean it up, no problem. I think the big thing for me says is this. Look at the positioning from the side of
oh my god,
Sinister 5. They are just all over this area of the map. So effectively, you could say they own everything from here to here to here to here. There's just this little portion here that's already been left open for the side of Salt to try and farm. And that's going to add up real quick. And you can see that at 8 minutes, we had about a 1k lead, I believe it was. By 15, it's now 5. So they're doing a really good job of just controlling the map. And I think this is probably going to be the all-she-wrote moment as well. If they keep doing this, Salt are going to lose the game. So they have to find a way back in.
I still think it's not the worst though. Once again, I do think one of their main issues is what we saw in the previous game.
They're going to find a way back in. They're going to catch up a very important target. They got the blade mail up, and they are going to finish him up before this ulti ends. Nice. They do actually commit the Phoenix Egg as well, though, trying to make sure that nothing can come and help out their friend. But that does mean they're without pretty much every LT. Look at that. The only LTs in the game right now on the side of Salt is the Witch Doctor as well as that Lina. So they commit a lot to that, and that does mean that when I'm drawing blank. What's his name?
Huskar.
Huskar, thank you. You know, that was a stupid moment. When the Husk comes back into the game, he's going to be fighting fit, and you have an opportunity, a little window there to actually cause a lot of havoc for the side of Sinister 5.
But by the time he gets back, though, the primary objectives have been achieved. Not only do they kill Huskar, I was saying that they still are struggling with initiation. Now that's not that much of an issue. Blink Dagger achieved for always. And they have 2 ultimates that I think are enough to deter the presence of the Huskar. They're going to try and relocate in, though.
Well, they're going to try and bait this up tension because everyone was there, and they're going to find Thor and die. They're going to do a lot of damage to him. He tries to get out of harm's way, but should be brought down, and as they commit the LT coming onto the Santa. But they do find the Shadow Shaman on the backline as well, just beating up everyone, Ishlings. Because for some reason, this hero needs hit for 104 at level 8. Because reasons.
Yeah, he immediately commits the mass Serpent Wards. Like, Doran Die does a very intelligent thing. He realizes as soon as he comes in that he's most likely going to die here, but he creates enough space so that Schlinks can go in on the backlines, make sure that Lina dies, and he forces himself further away from the fight, putting them in a really awkward position from the side of Salt to decide, do we pursue the IO for an easy kill onto a high-level hero and high-farm hero, or do we try to just get ourselves out? They're at least going to get a dual kill on Schlinks, yeah.
I just point this out because that 80 hit damage is going to get you this time. Revenge from Ice Frog.
That's like, these kind of plays that they're doing right now, this is kind of why I'm not that upset about this gold lead that's happening for Sinister 5, because all of it still is just sitting on the DK as well as the Huskar. Like, all the other 3 heroes on the other side don't really that strong. They're all at least going to get a kill though.
Again, so this should be a very easy kill, and is. That's probably one they don't mind too much about, since he is just a lowly support. And I like. I want to point out that I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I totally agree with you. I think they're doing some smart decisions as well, because I was speaking before about the map control, and the response is to just move into the opponent's side of the map, which is El Clasico already, but it works.
Yep. It actually does work. Although now the game becomes basically intolerable. They have Adastam getting a full Radiance. Aghanim inside the Roshan pit. He has enough gold to finish the Holy Locket. So this is going to be a Huskar with Holy Locket, Ring of Tarask, and an Aegis. Unless they take this fight right now. They don't have much time. This is one opportunity. Always!
Oh, what an engagement here. Always gets everything on the back lines. They do have the Supernova going as well. Can they find more kills though? They've only brought down the Aegis so far on this Huskar. Finally falls, don't die, will be brought down here with the duel as well. You're going to toss up the DK into there. This is a perfect potential fight for them. They drop down Santa with the Serpent Wards, and they're going to try and burn your dude, buddy, on the back line. Picks up one. This is falling apart for Salt. They got the picture.
Yes! They got Adam!
What was that?
Adastam's dead.
Was that
The DK died. Yeah, Maladin killed him.
Oh, okay, so that's actually beautiful, and that is... it's great that they get that kill, because I was about to say that just doesn't work out right, but not Hero. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. You're going to get caught out. They're going to start with the Schlinks engagement here, but they don't want it. Because on the back lines, always comes back with the burst right. They're going to be able to TP out Doom Buddy most likely, and are able to do so. But in the end, they do pick up another one. So this game just... Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like game on. I feel like game on in the biggest possible way.
That actually is game on. The two supports, they definitely saved this game. Between always... no, but the two supports between Not a Hero as well as Santa. So Not a Hero, he positions himself outside of the Roshan pit with the Supernova. Ensures that, sure, it might be the case that they lose Sand King immediately as he goes in to try and interrupt the Aegis. But after that, they can't actually take a fight around this area. It's only the Wisp outside here as well as the Shadow Shaman who have free movement. Doom Bunny has to wait until somebody's jumping onto the Huskar on the second life to hex them off. But DK, like, he has the Aegis. Because the Huskar dies so quickly. Speaking of DK, they're at least gonna get...
So, yeah, they're gonna be re-engaging here. They were actually just fighting over the ruin as the support comes in. Nether wants pieces. Has had the blade mill up as well. Can they finish the job? They tried to commit the Witch Doctor ulti, but unfortunately he was cut off by both the supports on the side of Sins 5. They try to bring down the Phoenix with the Finger of Death. Unable to do so, but
nice.
with a little bit of hit. There's so much going on. It's the right clicks from Sparkles though. You had a hard time early on just on the back line to finish things off. That's 4 for 2, and that's the first time we've seen those numbers. The fight recap will show it a 2,000 gold swing, and I tell you what,
game's even.
There's one side that has their tails up all of a sudden, and it ain't Sinister 5.
Nope. Game is even. And in that fight, initially I thought the Witch Doctor was super cocky. He didn't use the Maledict onto the DK after they got the duel on the high ground. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? This was an easy kill. But then what ends up happening is that because of the fact that there's no Maledict on him, the rest of Sin 5 feel maybe we can save our hero. They go in, save a buddy syndrome starts kicking in. Everybody except for Aghanim dies in that situation. And now, game, there's no gold lead. And because of the fact that they put all their gold in terms of on the Huskar and the DK, both of them are both behind the LC. Lena's about to catch up. And the rest of the heroes don't really have the potential. Oh wait, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Look at Dota and Dice build. Maelstrom Desolator on an IO. That's going to be the build for the offlane man here.
This is silly. This is a silly thing to do, just in general. But I'm just going to go with it, because this is happening.
Look at the talent he took. He took the plus 45 damage talent. What? Oh
is this
my
a thing
god.
now? Is this what we're going to see in our puppies now? Aya is trying to carry?
I mean, we did see that
that
game with IO at ESL where Yapso had... What did he have? Like Heart, Mjolnir... Some crazy stupid build. It was ridiculous.
You know what else we saw? We saw Secret winning Dota games with the support looter. Fortunately, we haven't seen it yet. Things that just don't belong. Anyways. I really love this game, Snare. Isn't Dota just magical?
Dota, I was trying to explain to a colleague of mine why this is the best game ever. And one of the reasons is because, look at this graph. There was a point where it didn't seem possible that Sinister 5 were going to lose the game. But now things are even. They might actually lose Adam. Is Adam going to die? Look how careful this guy is. No, he's not. He's fine. He's going to live.
The other way. Do they actually know this? It looks like they're not quite sure. They're going to see the creeps. They're going to see the radiance as well. So, no, Adam stands there. Oh, he's following the creep. I'm actually so excited. This is like watching a thriller film at the moment as they hunt Never with the shadow. He's going to find Alistan. Does he want it though? He's got friends.
It's a bad idea.
Does he go? Does he go? He's still stalking.
Not with the tier 1 tower up. As soon as the tier 1 falls, maybe. But they maybe go for Doom Bunny. That's a much easier target. There we go. BKB Doom.
BKB's up. He goes in. They get off the Supernova as well. They're going to just abandon this DK. But he doesn't die very quickly. eventually brought down, but this does mean there's a potential to turn and burn here. They do go straight back in onto that Legion Command. A lot of damage comes off to it. They've done a lot of damage to the shot as well, and will bring him down. Be digging up the Serpent Walls. Bow Strike not going to save the Sanking. Low ground, Sparkles trying to finish something off. Won't find anything though. 3 for 2 at the moment, as not the fight that Salt wanted. Not a Hero actually turned back into Doom Bunny. He might actually want a piece of this, as he does have help coming in from Sparkles, but Sparkles may find more than he bargained for at the moment. Toss out Dragon Slave will be enough to finish off one, but they're going to go straight back in. Sparkles takes a lot of damage from Aghanim, tries to TP away. Yes. Not going to happen. Aghanim shuts that door closed, and we're going to see another kill go the way of Sims5. 4 for 3.
That was 100% their own fault on Salt. They should not have gone for this play while the tier 1 tower was still up. Sure, it might not be a tower that has TP potential to it, but the primary thing is that fighting around this tower does give the additional armor. It takes so long for that kill to happen. Dota and Dai relocate in with Aghanim from bottom, and because they weren't able to get the insta kill onto Doom Bunny, I think it would have been better if they get the kill onto Doom Bunny first and the Lion dies.
Trying to find Dota down the bottom lane here. Can he actually finish off there? We'll toss out the coconut as well. Dota should be brought down. Easy to kill in the end.
This is the one combo they have for themselves, is that they do have Maledict with Sunray. This is an absurd amount of damage that happens very, very quickly in such a way that even Aghanim can't do too much about it. Like, even though Aghanim is going to have a harder Tarask soon, I kind of think Aghanim is going to be one of the squishier heroes. He's going to die very often if he doesn't have the Wisp nearby him. But fortunately for him, Adeslam is very happy to tank up all the damage. And with this Radiance going into a full Aghanim Scepter as well, this is going to be a DK with a lot of HP, some mischance attached to his name as well. And above and beyond all that, he still has an IO as backup. Also, I must say, my MVP for this game thus far has to have been Schlinks. A lot of these fights, even this fight that happened middle, actually would have gone south if Schlinks wasn't able to get off the perfect ward trap around the Sand King and getting the shackles out onto the LC to prevent further damage. This game would look very different, so they need to also find a way to deal with Schlinks.
I don't disagree with you, but if I were Doom Bunny, I would not be
bottom.
What's happening here? Bottom lane, they're going to get the magic off onto Schlinks, the man of the moment, but Santa's the one who's going to fall. A lot of damage, can always go for huge epicenter. No, cancel the last moment from Alistam. They do have the LT up available, from the Legion corner, but he doesn't want to piece this back here for the moment. And a Rise choice, because he could have just been booted out of the game. The hardware, as it were, he's trying to find his way out there. Doesn't have a blink, doesn't have escape. He's going to get hexed on the high ground. What? There's your Doom Bunny that I was chatting about. Impale comes out, or Earthspike comes out as well as they try to bring down Never. Should be able to do so. Trying to get out of harm's way. Can he survive at least for long enough to get... In fact, I say this. Can he survive? The man's running very fast. Tries to TP up. Can he get away? Is it the ult go on the cliff? No, not quite. Alistam reflexes too fast. Drops out the Dragon Tail, picks up the kill, and it's going to be 4 for 1 again.
Why did he do that? He had the movement speed, he had phase boots. He could have spent the additional time here activating press the attack for the bonus movement speed. I have no idea why you try to get the TP out in that situation. Like, even if he dies, at the very least you don't die with TP now also being on cooldown. That was very low percentage play there for him to take, especially considering that he knows that the DK does have Radiance. It could easily have burned him down from the low ground as well.
Well, it looks like they're going to try burn them down on top of their own tier 3. As Aghanim Dicky got up on the Dicky, he'll get stumped as well. Can they finish the job? This man does not go down easy. Pick up the towers, turns his attention to home. He's going to just head back out though, but he does in fact bait out the Lina as Sparkles gets stunned up by Adestam. By the way, can we just appreciate the fact that we're going to see an Aghanim's DK coming out soon?
Yes,
very soon. In fact,
it's up. It's ready. It's ready. Oh my god, we're gonna have the bonus DK form available for us now. A lot more tank ability. So look at him now, right? He has 3k HP with 22 armor. By the time this new round of items arrives, he's gonna be at like 3-4 or 3-5 with maybe 24-25 armor. Man is gonna be basically unkillable before he even activates the Elder Dragon form and before he even gets to level 20, where he finds himself the bonus strength getting even tankier. So Adeslam, I was wrong when I said that I don't think he's gonna die. He's died 4 times, but I'm not sure he's gonna die again this game. And Aghanim, what's Aghanim building? So Aghanim wants a second heart. Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of HP to grind through here if you solve. But let's some sanity back to this. Let's chat about. Like, this has been a crazy series actually. I'm loving this series, but it has been crazy. So Snare, I think it's safe to say once again, Salt find themselves in the back foot. What's the move? Do you split push? Do you look for pickoffs? Where are we going if we're the Salt lineup right now? Well, Schlinks might be going into the aggressive form. No, backs off. Good stick. Jump in before this.
They need... Okay, so they have BKB on Sparkle, which is a very good thing. I was going to say they need this item, definitely. After the BKB, you need the Ags as well on Lina. For now, honestly, the one thing is that because of the fact that they can only really push with Dragon Form as well as the Mass Open Worlds, if you prevent Schlinks from getting on top your towers, okay, they're going to lose Witch Doctor middle. That can't happen because now they're actually just going to push the middle. They're going to drop the Mass Open Worlds. He needs to buy back right now if he has it. Like, you actually need to buy back. And top, Io is dead.
It's gotten very deep, and maybe the buyback wouldn't be delayed because that was peculiar at best. They're going to turn onto an Aghanim though, just committing very, very hard. The big black dragon's down as well, as they do deal a lot of damage to the tank. He's still alive for the time being, surviving through it thanks to the press, the attack that comes out. Alistam still keen to fight, still goes forward, and just look at it go. Isn't it beautiful? Drogon has nothing on Alistam right about now. Serpent Wards drop down, they're going to do a lot of damage, but the players in the back line, they're just being smashed apart by Alistam. He's too tanky, they can't quite deal with him. Once again, Sankey goes back in. This time, it's just going to be walked down. No way out of it. The buybacks come out in force though. The Serpent Wards diligently attacking the towers. They turn their attention now to the racks. Deep dive in from Magnums. Is this going to cost them? They're going to go back in here. They do in fact have the Burrow Strike available, but he doesn't choose to commit it just yet. Finally, he does drop down. They're going to commit the duel as well. So they pick up to the racks still standing, but they will be at the very least whittled away by these Serpent Wards. Can they actually bring them down?
This is huge. They've defended the base. They're going to get more kills.
From Not a Hero. He still wants a piece of this. They're going. Burrow Strike misses, but they could still potentially bring down Doom Bunny here. They're going to commit the Sandstorm as well. Should be enough to bring him down. Very, very low is enough.
Io coming in with Huskar.
20 HP at the moment. Didn't find the kill in the line that they wanted. They're going to go straight back in though. Aghanim pushes back the Witch Doctor. He wants to kill this buyback hero. A lot of damage coming on Santa. Can they finish the job though? Don't die in there with him with the tether as well. They're going to go back home safely. So that overcommitment potentially missed Burrow Strike. Probably the time to back it off because in the end it cost them a hero that did buy back. So that is going to hurt.
And that was actually #word that they went for that chase. Like, that was a very, very sick play. Santa actually saved the game there. He buys back and he loses his life, sure, but he also forces Aghanim to commit the entirety of his buyback, chasing him around rather than dealing damage to the racks, which were very low to bring him brought down, or dealing damage to the heroes that were still alive, such as Never. So at the end of the day,
they're going to go into the DK. The Alistam would be huge. They have the duel. Yes, but the stun is there. Alistam buys himself time, but the epicenter slowing him down. Don't die comes in to help out. Is this a mistake though? Could this be a wreckage? They're doing so much damage. This Dragon Form is still standing. Finally goes down. And Supernova commits, and they will bring down the Eye as well. So it's 2 for 2, but it's 2 supports for 2 cores. Doom Bunny, get out of there, buddy, because this is not the right time to die. Salt still in it, behind but not out.
And Never was the one that finishes off the both kills. Between him and the Phoenix, they both get 1,000 gold each from that engagement. And the Legion Commander, look what he's building right now. Not really what he's building. What has arrived? Coming in from the courier, has a full MKB, so the mischance from the DK no longer that big of an issue. Can actually deal damage. He has 144 dual damage as well, so this LC is no slouch. And they're inside the Roshan pit. There is buyback available for the DK, but even if they force the buyback, that is still ultimately a victory. And they know that Wisp can't buy back either. Although they don't know it, but he's too poor, so we know it, so it's fine.
Let's pretend they've done the maths. They know what's happening here. I don't think since I actually care right now, because they can play around this. They don't actually have to fight this. They can go ahead, avoid the side of Salt for a while. Say, cool, you have the Aegis, but now you have to use the Aegis. So, Doom Bunny, what you're doing, goes inside, they drop the Serpent Wards. This is not what I expected at all. Are they going to try to connect this? A lot of damage comes onto this Legion Commander. He desperately wants Roshan, but the supports are doing it. They're going to get the shackles onto Sparkles. They're still standing. They lose the LC on the back lines with Dora and Dai coming in. This is worst case scenario as they all fall down, and Roshan fighting a bunch of snakes at the moment. He's going to fall the wrong way around. Never mind. And Sin5 disagree with us, and they might get to more. They did buy back on the LC though.
Oh man, what the hell was that?
More damaging.
Salt went for the chain feed. Like, there was so many things that went wrong there. Okay, they're not done just yet. They're gonna lose the Sand King now.
They're gonna catch out the Sand King here. They do have support coming out from the Phoenix this time around. Press attack's also there. Go straight back in. Phoenix still wants a piece of this. Does he want too much of this though? Don't waste your life now. Burrow Strike comes in beautifully. They do force back then disarmed
Duel him?
Legion Commander at the moment as they try to run him down. Can they finish off? The Supernova's there, they're trying desperately to finish off this Huskar, but Aghanim is so tanky. He says, I'll take a piece of you, Phoenix, but he gets stunned up once, always channels the epicenter just to get it off, but he dies for his time, and Adestam on the back line says, hello, remember me, I'm that big, huge Drogon-like creature that's going to eat up your cause. Santa drops the ultimate, but it isn't enough. They're going to duel onto this
GG.
DK, but so much damage to that. He's going to win that duel. Adestam walks out on top, but in the end, that will most likely be all she wrote. No buybacks available for the side of Salt, and Sin 5 ended in style.
Oh man, Sparkles at the very least will get a revenge kill onto the IO, but Dota and Die doesn't care about this, man. He's just going to buy back. He can't afford the TP boots, but he'll just come in, help out his team. They won't get the full megas just yet though. So he's actually going to come in. Is he going to come in? Yep, to give escape. And they're going to go for more. Lena's going to die now.
Yeah, Don't Die keen to pick up another one, as well as a set of racks, as well as a tier 3 tower, I'm sure. Oh, where do you go?
Nah, he relocated back, yeah. And now, because they got some of the Deso hits out onto the tier 4 tower, it's going to take even more damage from these mass open wards. So at least one of these is going to fall, most likely both, because they have 70 seconds without an LC. This game is over. There's no way you can spend 70 seconds defending without your strongest hero. And they don't have the megas just yet, but already there is a creep wave, a knocking on the door at bottom tower. This tier 3, not long for this world, definitely going to fall soon. But they're just going to go for the GG push, because they know that they can win the game right now.
Oh, Hex comes out onto what once was a Shadow, a Sand King. As Sand stands his ground, doing a lot of damage. But he is brought down. Is there Maledict on this Aghanim? No, there's not. He's going to be fine. This is slightly mean.
Yeah, I think
don't want to be Phoenix right about now. This is not where you want to be when you beat the LT. Supernovas, he's going to survive.
It's going to trigger. It's going to trigger. Look at the stun. Look at the stun. Hey!
It was fun. I'm down for this.
Hey. I must say,
too strong, but what a game, what a series, fun. Snap, your thoughts?
Salt. Okay, so Salt lost themselves the game with that last Roshan fight. I think they made like 4 or 5 mistakes that shouldn't have happened. Santa was standing outside the Roshan pit, right? He was supposed to be the first line of defense in the event that what we saw happening around that fight happens, right? If Doom Bunny or Shlinks show up to try and stop you from taking the Aegis, you need to be on call to stop that shit from happening as the Witch Doctor. Unfortunately for him, he was sitting in the trees to avoid detection, but he stayed there way too long. And by the time he comes out of the Roshan pit, immediately Doom Bunny, which by the way I have to swap my MVP for. I think you're right that he is the MVP. He immediately hexes out on the Witch Doctor, prevents him from being able to throw the casket. And then now, after Shlinks throws in mass Sopurods in the Roshan pit, the Legion Commander, instead of simply activating BKB and not a hero using the Sunray from long distance to ensure that you can finish off the Aegis, pick up the damn thing, kill the Roche, pick up the Aegis and get out safely, he tries to walk away and keep the Aegis for the upcoming fight. Instead, not a hero gets baited into moving the Sunray into the wrong position. No heal comes out on LC. He dies in like 1 hit. Sparkles doesn't activate his BKB as well. He did have BKB at the time, did he? Yeah, he did. Doesn't activate it either. And they just fall to pieces. Also, always decided for whatever reasons to get involved in that fight rather than just running away. So, but we can't to take nothing away from Sinister 5. Obviously, Sinister 5 was winning the game. But there they just, you can even see on the graph the exact moment where it was clear that right here, you can see that little dip where it looks like it's going well, then everything goes south.
And the comeback was not real.
The comeback was not real.
I guess that's a. I really enjoyed the series. Maybe I'm just in too good a mood, but I really enjoyed the series.
No, this was fun.
On that note, I'm gonna say goodbye. Snake, why don't you take a clip?
So one thing, let us remember, ladies and gentlemen, that for Team Salt, Game 2 was a game that you can actually afford to watch the replay because there's stuff to learn from it. Game 1, delete that replay because you're just gonna make yourself salty and nobody really wants that. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me on this journey. I'm Snare. I was with Halbert today, who I was not kind enough to add to. There we go. There's Halbert's name. Let it be known. Halbert is the voice of SA Dota. He's out here. We just covered the VS Gaming Premier League game between Sinister 5 and Team Salt. Sin 5 with this 2-0 will continue to secure their placement at the very top of the log of the Premier League. So congratulations to them. Salt, nothing changes. You're still second. you're definitely going to be ending the season in the top 4, so you don't have that much to worry about going forward. So thanks for joining us for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be out, and we'll be seeing you again on Sunday. What is the date on Sunday, just to give you the exact time? Sunday the 9th. The 9th of June, we'll have some more VS Gaming Dota coming out here. So until then, we'll see you guys in the future. I'm Snare, this was Halbert. You guys have been amazing, and we'll see you on Sunday for some more Dota 2 action.
Welcome to the second installment of Sunday Lunch. This is the second serving, so I hope you plate it. Pick that napkin. Yo, sometimes I struggle with the words. I find it difficult to cut ties with some girls. Out of mind and out of this pearl. Still in due time to find what you deserve. Yo, have you heard? Excess Kitsy got her served. Now she's running, it's absurd how she belongs to the world. She was my first, after so many hurts, little smirks when I saw her getting nested by the birds. Speaking of such, Twitter's the reason we're not speaking much. Indeed it sucks, reading those tweets but never keeping up. And now my lifetime's full of spam. Fake accounts unaccounted for is where I stand. These in and outs, revolving doors shutting, that's the plan. Destructive button, glory hunting, might just date a fan. And thanks to my fam for helping me understand that often your heart will soften and maybe break in your hand. And thanks to the fan for helping me understand that often your heart will soften and maybe break in your hand. That's the jam, that's the jam, that's the jam. From AM to PM, that's the jam, that's the jam. This is for the girls who asked me to write songs for them. Again, Sunday lunch, this is your hand. And I know you still love him. Our relationship was ended by assumption. This is for the girls who asked me to write songs for them. Again, Sunday lunch, this is your hand. And I know you still love him. Our relationship is probably something. Was it nothing? I don't know. It's confusing. I'm not one to flaunt my purity. I hide my shit well sometimes. Insecurities. But more of me is sacrificed when acting like this normally. So formally my registers annoying those who cordially have courted me. Showed me ancient scrolls and sorts of sorcery. Fourth was self-absorbed and gave nothing but immaturity enormously. But every chapter was a lesson. Every start was lessened by the threat of all detention. I feel the disconnection when you're searching for a message from a girl we shouldn't mention. It enhances her depression. Baby, you're reflecting those internal wasted seconds. It's a mess. I wish you blessings, heaven, and yet imperfections.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. The poem I wrote you is also really, really old. That I wrote like a while ago. I think last year in November or something.
Okay, this is for the girls who asked me to write songs for them. Again, Sunday lunch, this is your hymn. And I know you still love him. At the end of the day, it's butter over nothing. Cause this is for the girls who asked me to write songs for them. And Sunday lunch, yo, this is your hymn. And I know you still love him. Up for nothing.